Good afternoon, everybody.
Is that us?
Welcome to Business Application Summit. Your host today for this session is going to be myself, Ben Vollmer, as well as the always talented Tom Yang. And we're going to talk today about enabling always-on service with Dynamics 365. We're very excited about really the combination of customer service and field service, as well as the Power Platform, to really help you as a service organization respond better to customer demands and needs. So as far as agenda goes, we're going to be actually probably the lightest PowerPoint presentation I hope you see today. Very, very light, actually. I think we have one slide to repeat 3 times. So the nice thing is very light on PowerPoint. We are going to be very heavy, though, on demos. So Tom is going to show you a demo from a customer service and a customer perspective, and I'm going to show it to you from the field service or the technician perspective. And then we're going to round out today's session with an Ask Me Anything for about 15 or 20 minutes or until they kick us out of the room. So with that, we're going to walk real quick through what we mean by always-on service. When you think about customer engagement all up, and you think about customer service all up, it really starts all the way from the very beginning with customers starting their journey with customer self-service, all the way through to making sure the technicians that get dispatched and are on the job site have a high level of success. In between that, there's lots of different gradients that help drive success in these areas. So it's really about helping you scale to meet your customer demand. It's about delivering a connected service from all the way from self-service all the way through technician and making yourself empathetic to your customers. It's all about being able to deliver the right set of commands and actions proactively and optimize your resources. And it's all about empowering your technicians and agents with the right tool to use at the right time. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tom to show you how it looks like from a customer service perspective. Tom?
Thanks, Ben, and thanks everyone for joining us today. As we get into this, I think one of the things that we want to articulate up front is just the fact that we have the ability to give our customers today this end-to-end customer experience. You know, these silos of customer service and field service, they're really one journey, one experience for the customer. And so how do we start to leverage technologies to make that seamless journey? A couple of the areas that we'll focus on today is how do we start to enable very rapid but very efficient self-help so that I can help myself, empower me as a customer to get the resolution I need. But if that's not sufficient, how do we use more and more technology to quickly get to that resolution? And especially if I have access to certain data sets like IoT or telemetry, we can use that in a very powerful way. Now, the ultimate goal that we want for this is to get to proactive service, help our customers resolve issues before they ever become issues. But to do that, we need to start building up that picture. So let's go ahead and take a look from the perspective of one of our customers. And in this particular example, we'll be an organization who has coffee machines. And right now, one of our coffee machines is broken. As we start to look at this, one of the things we often do is, of course, go to a search page and start saying, how do I troubleshoot this on my own? But obviously, this isn't the most optimal way. We want to be able to give our customers an option to quickly get in touch with us. And more importantly, any time of the day, anywhere, any channel. So as an example, I might say, you know what? I remember that for this particular coffee maker, we actually have the ability to interact with a virtual agent. So this is me coming in here, and it could be 2 a.m. in the morning, and I need my coffee fixed. How do I start to really quickly get that information? So as you can read through, this is where the virtual agent has the ability to interact with you. Now, some of the key things we can do are bubbled up here, and I want to immediately look at my coffee machine issues. There's a couple of things that we can do here, including the fastest path to resolution oftentimes is proactively knowing what are the products that this customer has purchased. So here we're saying the best experience is to go ahead and verify this person. And because I have a plan and this particular company knows who I am, I've already set up this service account with a service PIN. So let me go ahead and do that. It's going to ask me for my phone number and a particular security PIN that I have, which is a super secure one here. And this is an example of using any sort of authentication. You can do SAML authentication, etc. But the key is let's identify the customer so that we can proactively pull the information. And in this particular case, it says that we've got this Jittery Joe coffee machine. And this particular coffee machine is a connected device. So the virtual agent here is offering to reach out to it and troubleshoot it in our behalf. And think about this, so many devices these days are connected. And even if you're an organization that does not have a physical device, we can do the same thing with data. The customer data that you have can all be reached into to say what kind of products, what kind of services, and let us go ahead and proactively service there. So let's come back to this example. In this case, I will give permission for the virtual agent to reach into my Jittery Joe coffee machine. And actually, in this case, here we go. The virtual agent has said, I've actually noticed the following. The temperature right now is 27 degrees and the humidity is 45. Both of these are abnormal, and this is what's preventing the machine from functioning properly. This is key for a couple of things. First, for the virtual agent to be able to get the telemetry means that it can now do intelligent things like knowing that these are the numbers and they're above or below thresholds. What is the best course of action? And in this case, it's saying, we recommend that you as a customer don't actually try to fix this because it's more complex than needed. Now, if it were able to be fixed by the customer, we could offer directions right here, or even translate and put them over to a live agent who has abilities to have a video chat, for example. And maybe I go ahead and turn my computer around to the machine and we can troubleshoot it together. But in this case, I'm going to say, let's go ahead and schedule a mechanic visit. I'll pause this example here, but it gives you a good idea of the ability for us to very quickly get to the root of the problem and then go ahead and offer some alternatives like scheduling a mechanic. The last piece that I'll go to is if we go ahead and shift to a customer service agent perspective. Now, we have many customers and we have many customers with devices. We service coffee machines, tens of thousands of them. We don't want information that isn't relevant to us. And what's relevant to me as a customer service agent? Those machines that are breaking, those machines that are sending IoT alerts, for example, that are above or below certain thresholds. So as an example, for me, I've got 32 cases. I actually better get on it. So one of the top cases here allows me to quickly drill in and say, this was a case created from a particular IoT alert where there's a problem with the device. And I can see it belongs to this customer, a datum. If I drill into the IoT alert, I get more details around the alert data, what kind of machine it was, but more importantly, I can start to get a full picture of the machine. So now with a couple of clicks, I'm drilling into the actual machine itself. And what I want to do is to look at the device readings, because before I go any further with troubleshooting, I want a picture of the history of this machine. And as we can see, we get a lot of telemetry. And for me as an agent, I may not necessarily care about the magnetometers or accelerometers, if I could even say that right. But what I might care about is the gyroscope, because this tells me that some of our customers get so frustrated with their coffee machines, they start tilting them all around to try to resolve the issue. And we're saying that's not a good thing. So I can start to see from some of this telemetry over the last hour, the last 24 hours, the last 7 days, this picture of information that allows me to do my job better. In this particular case, I might even say, you know what, these particular readings indicate that a reset might actually take care of this particular coffee machine. So I might send a command back and say, let's go ahead and do a reset command. And this is just to paint a picture of all the different things that we can start to do from a service perspective, right? We don't necessarily always have to say, let's immediately send out a technician. If we can send a command, reset the coffee machine, and it's fixed itself, then great, the customer is immediately happy. But there comes a point at which we need to start talking about our technicians and scheduling and dispatching and all of those. So without further ado, let me hand it over to Ben and talking more about the field service side of the story. Over to you, Ben.
So thanks, Tom, for that awesome demo. And really what you showed there in that dark blue is really the first half of the end-to-end customer engagement cycle. Now, let's take a little different stance here now, and let's show you by a demo what proactive service from a technician perspective and a scheduling perspective looks like, as well as what technician success on the job site looks like. So we're going to now do a demo showing this. Once Tom has figured out we cannot get a technician out there to resolve, or a person on site to resolve the issue, we got to send a technician out.
Now, the best case scenario here would have, of course, been if we could have gotten the customer to self-fix the unit themselves or have the customer service rep fix the unit. But unfortunately, that couldn't happen based on the complexity of the repair. Now, the good news is ADM Corporation has a contract with us, Contoso Coffee, to help maintain all their coffee machines. So now what I can do is I can actually schedule that work order that Tom started with one of my actual technicians to go out and do the actual work. Now, as you can see here, I can see on one very easy to use location board where all my technicians are, where their jobs are, and any travel time they have between them. So I'm able to use skills-based routing to get the right technician to the right place at the right time to make the customer happy. Now, scheduling is actually, there's a lot of difficulty here and a lot of complexity here, but scheduling is actually pretty straightforward in this case. I'm going to just schedule this for one of my techs. Now, the technicians can either utilize a PC, or a lot of times our technicians use mobile devices with full mobile offline access. For the sake of today, for the Business Application Summit, I'm going to show this to you in my PC, but know the same experience exists on your mobile device. So here I am in my work order. I've been assigned this work order. It's work order 003, and I now have to do some work. You can see in the bottom right-hand corner there are some tasks I have to do. So if you will, these are what we call service tasks. So the first thing I do when I got the job site is actually inspect the unit. Why? Well, there's some health and safety requirements that I need to really maintain here. So let's go ahead and look at that inspection real quick. So here's the inspection. Now, the nice thing is every service task can have their own set of inspections, their own questionnaire, if you will, with that service task. So what I'm going to do here is the cord free of damage. So does the cord have any frays in it, or is it fine? Okay, here the cord is free of damage. And then is the cord plugged into an appropriate outlet? Yes. And where is the coffee machine at? We already know from the asset where it's at, but I want to make sure the technician actually confirms where it's at. And he or she's going to put that in the executive break room. Now, this actually allows me to do two things. One, it allows me to time each one of these service tasks so I can see how efficient my technicians are, but it also allows me to capture data on the status of equipment, on health and safety requirements, or other things I need to do. Now, let's go back to our work order because I completed that service task. And here's my work order. Now you can see the IoT alert that created this and the incident type. And I have an hour and a half to fix this thing, which is great. Now, I'll be honest with you, I've only been here at Contoso Coffee for about 6 months. So I don't really have a whole lot of expertise in fixing this machine, which is about 6 years old. So just like Tom showed you, one of the largest expenses, if you will, in an organization is actually technicians calling into the contact center because to get work done. So what we can do here is we can actually embed the same technology our customers use for our agents, for our technicians. So I'm going to say hello to the bot. I'm going to tell I'm working on an asset, and it says, are you working on the Jerry Joe coffee machine? Well, yes, I am. And it says, okay, is there a cover on it? Yes, I am. And here's how you remove the cover. So it actually links me out to either a public or private link to get my data. Now it also is doing something else here. It's actually asking me to look at the telemetry data over the past week to see if it wants to do some assessment on what's going on here. I said, yes, I'd like for it to analyze this. So as you can see here, it's actually looked at the telemetry data. Now that blue hyperlinked area will actually take me to the exact same screen that Tom showed earlier. So I can actually see all my device readings, regardless of them in the office or out of the office. I could also send reset commands if I wanted to, but in my case, I don't need to do that right now. But it says based on the water pressure being so high, it's a water pump that needs to be replaced. Would you like the instructions on how to replace the water pump? Now, even though I've only been here 6 months, I've replaced at this point hundreds of water pumps. I don't need instructions on how to do it, so I'm going to go ahead and say no. Now, what my virtualization is actually doing here is actually taking the voice I gave it and actually now added to my products I'm using that water pump and updated my service tasks to reflect that. So if I refresh this screen, you'll see that I have more service tasks. So you can see here with Dynamics 365 Service, we can have always on service all the way from the technician at the job site all the way back to the customer making the initial inquiry.
So with that quick demo, what we're able to really show here is really truly end-to-end customer service and service all up. And so we're able to show how both a bot can be used in the context of a customer, as well as in the context of a technician, and then how you can actually use your service organization across the board to make sure data is shared between all the different areas of the organization. So it's really about how do we help scale to meet customer demand, both on site as well as in maybe a contact center. How do we help deliver connected and empathetic customer experiences? How do we drive meaningful actions with proactive service? And last but not least, how do we make sure we empower our technicians and our call center agents with the right tools at the right time? Now, again, we wanted this session to be very heavily geared towards your questions and answers. So with that, we're done with the PowerPoints. Told you it was 3 slides repeated. At this point, it's time for your questions and answers to be given to Tom and I to help you guys out.
Thank you, Ben and Tom. What great insight on how Dynamics 365 enables always-on service. We have just about 12 minutes left, so we'll take some questions from the audience. And just to remind the audience as well, feel free to paste and ask different questions in the chat below. And we have several moderators working to answer those, and some will also be presented aloud to Tom and Ben. So with one of our first questions that we have for you, this either can be answered by Ben or Tom. How do you cross between customer service and field service when they're in different apps?
Do you want me to start on that, Ben?
Yeah, go for it, Tom.
Sure. Yeah, I think, look, as we kind of articulated here, the app is the experience. And I think what the question was referring to is the 2 different apps we have in Dynamics, customer service and field service. And the crossing between is really just an artificial thing for data, right? What record do we have? Because we oftentimes start with an IoT alert that creates a case, and that's potentially in the customer service app, but then it goes to field service technician in the form of a work order, something like that. So really the crossing between is, what is your makeup like? I mean, it's easy enough for us to convert a case that we can't solve in customer service and turn it into a work order. And I think, the answer to that, if that kind of made sense and answered the question, is it's really just dependent on the process, but the conversion of the records is easy enough for us to do. Ben, anything you want to add to that?
And I think one of the things that, there's the app construct, because I would say that's more of a user construct. You have the technicians, we're seeing, because of the current situation, we're seeing field service technicians becoming more like CSRs, or CSRs more like field service techs. But the construct here is really who's using the app and where they're using the app at. It's not what are they using the app for, because we're both there to solve a customer problem and drive success with our customers, regardless of which channel they use.
And I think, the last point and what you demonstrated today, even it's the same concept for, like the virtual agent and even knowledge. I think a lot of things we've kind of seen the industry, right or wrong, break out into, is this customer service, is this field service, like knowledge articles, things like that. But as we've hopefully demonstrated here, to that point, it's all about the outcome. It doesn't matter what we're using under the covers. It's just, how do we give the customer the outcome, right? So absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Another one from the audience: are the bot capabilities available in the new mobile app?
So yes, one of the new mobile apps. So Field Service Mobile is one of our apps we make available for technicians. And so yes, it uses standard unified interface, so you can embed those bots directly in UI. We didn't have time today to show it based upon timing, but that is one of the, I actually have the demo up in here running in my home office.
Thanks, Ben. We have another question around bots as well. Can a bot help the technician in the field with work order instructions?
I mean, the coolest thing about, for me, again, Tom's the Power Virtual Agent expert here. I'm a noob, but my favorite part about the virtual agents is whatever you can do in Dynamics as a user, you can do it. So one of the things you saw that happened there was the bot actually went back in Dynamics and actually updated the parts being used and changed the incident type, which then drove additional service tasks. So the bot was actually interacting with the work order on behalf of the technician without requiring additional steps from the technician.
And the piece that I would add to that perhaps is we've, I think entered and we've been entering this world where there's this notion of conversation as an interface. If I go back to the question of can the bot do the steps? Absolutely. The conversation as an interface is basically meant to say we can use a natural conversation, in this case, let's say just texting or typing with the bot in order to access multiple systems as well, right? What Ben mentioned. Why do I need to go into a particular system or into a particular UI to do an action? And we can expand this well beyond service into even what we do as employees. And so you think about going into an HR system, an IT system, et cetera. Why not front that with the ability to have a conversation with a virtual agent that goes and does these actions on your behalf? So I think we're going to see an explosion in this where it's just a more natural way of interacting, isn't it? I mean, if I could just have a conversation with a virtual agent, it does what it's need to in multiple systems, makes my life easier. So.
Thanks, Tom. Now we'll shift gears a little bit and go to some questions around IoT. So this first one is IoT data now in customer service. I see you're in the customer service app, but seeing IoT telemetry.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's the kind of new, if you will, connected customer service. I think you've long heard the term, for those who are familiar with Dynamics, around connected field service, which is the matching of the IoT data along with field service capabilities. And as we've kind of gone through here, that IoT telemetry is now accessible from the customer service app. So yes, functionally speaking, Customer Service Hub, CSH, now gives you access to the IoT and device data. And again, as we said, it's just because it's service. Why does IoT data only available for field service? It should be for all service. So, yep.
And I'm going to pack on you real quick, Tom. I think the other thing that makes me excited about even customer service is that it moved the asset into the customer service as well. Because for a long time, what does a customer own? When do they buy it? When's the warranty expire? Those are things we're used to dealing with on the field service side. So being able to have that entity shared between customer service and field service makes that process so much more seamless for the end customer.
Yeah, and to what you said earlier, Ben, I mean, the whole point is just how do we resolve the issue or get the outcome for the customer? So why would we artificially kind of break down the data? So now, yep, we have it all in one place, shared across our apps. So.
Thanks, guys. Moving along here, you guys got some kudos for a great demo, followed by a question. Do you encourage the use of the updated IoT Central for enterprise customers? And how about Remote Assist?
So I'll take the Remote Assist part first. So actually, Kyle Young, who's the product leader for field service, and Hector, who's the product leader for Remote Assist, are doing a demo, I think, presently right after ours. So actually, a little later this afternoon, Kyle and Hector will be doing a great demo around Remote Assist. And I think Remote Assist in conjunction with field service is a great fit. On the IoT side, it comes down to what you as a customer need. IoT Central is a very fast, very quick to market solution. It's a SaaS model, whereas IoT Hub is much more of a PaaS model. So it really just depends on what your needs are as a customer, which solution fits you better. The nice thing is with the new IoT Central, they kind of bridge that gap between IoT Hub and IoT Central. So it's no longer a stark of I got to pick one or the other. You can actually kind of blend them together with continuous data export, for example.
Real quick on the Remote Assist piece, and I think we also have Remote Assist obviously as a product set, and that's perhaps where the question is addressed to. I think I would also call out, especially from the service perspective, of Remote Assist as the concept of being able to use video to help troubleshoot something, right? So, one of the things within customer service side is the ability to elevate a chat, for example, to voice and video. And just like we're having here, so I don't know, pretend that, my closet door is broken. The ability for you as a CSR or service rep to say, hey, let's take a look at this. Where is it going? So while that's not Remote Assist the product, we're definitely seeing a lot of need for more of a deep visual engagement with our customers on the service side as well. So,
and I think over future, you're going to see, the idea of co-browsing, which is more of a CS customer service focused thing, and Remote Assist, which is more of a field service focused thing, kind of get blended together a little more. Not from a product, I'm talking, just from a generic perspective, not
Yep.
not talking product direction, FYI.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. And then the next one, you mentioned being able to do proactive service even if an organization doesn't do IoT. Can you describe how that is achieved?
Yeah, and look, I'll tee off of this one, and I think the reason that maybe the question was asked is we showed IoT data, right? I think if your organization has devices, probably fairly easy to imagine. Yep, I've got a set of devices or a bunch of devices sending in data. If you're an organization that doesn't deal with devices, let's say you're in banking or you're a retailer or providing government services, it's still the notion of being able to use the data that you have to do proactive service. I'll give you a very quick example. Financial services. We were just talking to a customer, and we have a number across the world starting to do this and looking more into this. But think about how much information you have on your customer, the transactional transactions that they have, the behaviors that they have, and the kind of demographic information. A lot of that rich information isn't necessarily being used. And if we can start to stitch that together and build a very full picture of the customer, not only about who they are, but what they do, what their behaviors are, what their habits are from a financial services perspective, we can actually start to get them proactive service for, hey, you know what, based on this trend, in 2 months, you're going to be at this limit, or in 6 weeks, you're going to hit this particular fee. Those are areas where the customers are really, really keen because they get a benefit, right? You're saving them money. You're giving them upfront kind of notice on potentially negative things that are going to happen to them. That's what we kind of mean by, look, you can do proactive service even without devices, just based on the data. And we can, of course, talk in more depth about that individually on a case-by-case basis.
But I'm going to laugh, Tom. I have a couple customers who I call them human IoT collectors. Mm-hmm. There are people that their job is to walk around a plant every hour, and they actually use inspections to record readings to get. So IoT is a nice thing to have, but not every customer has it, depending on the circumstances that they may have.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Now moving forward, and this will be directed towards Ben. Is the bot the suggested way to move forward as opposed to the service tasks? What's your feedback there?
No, not at all. If you look at, and you can kind of in the context of what we did here today, we try to squeeze hours of knowledge into a 7-minute demo. A lot of our customers, and Tom can attest this, one of their single biggest sources of phone calls is their own internal technicians. So the customer service team almost becomes a support organization for field service techs. And so in those organizations, actually putting the bot in place helps them reduce service costs, because then you don't have internal techs calling. One of my clients I've talked to, they have 27 million calls a year come in their call center from numbers they own. So the whole purpose of running that bot is really, how do I help reduce the number of phone calls? Because if I don't know that coffee machine, it's too old for me to know it. How can I get help otherwise? So that bot just really, for me, just helps reduce the overall service costs for the organization.
Thanks, Ben. And we have just about 2 minutes left, so we can ask one more question. Let's go with, can the work order system be integrated with a cost center to pay for the work being done?
So, and sorry, Tom, for this, the field service is pretty heavily tied into a lot of financial systems. So a lot of times what we'll see the work order in field service, the time and materials used against it, if it's for internal use, used against a project tracking system. So for example, project operations or asset management. So yes, you can take the information from that work order and transfer it back to an ERP system in pretty much whatever format you want. So we have customers doing it for projects, we have customers doing just into a sales order. It really kind of depends on your use case and scenario, but yes, we've seen that done.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Well, we're just about to wrap up the session. Thank you guys for the questions from the audience. Ben and Tom, any last words in the remaining minute?
For me, thanks for joining us, and definitely please check out, and I think Ben will share some of the other sessions here, but great having you with us and looking forward to working with all of you.
Thank you guys for coming.